Hello, hello. I am currently waiting on tea water to boil, so I'm gonna just awkwardly stare at this for a little bit. Hello, Expert. Welcome, welcome. We made a rough design for Space Age Any Percent. It's not like optimized or anything. I just wanted some general idea of what we would be doing and how much I want. We definitely overdid a lot of it at the speed we'll have on the first run, and the second one is very oversized. But I was lazy. We can refine it later. The main thing we need to practice is just how the start works whenever you don't have electric mining drills early on. It's very weird. A slower start and such. Yeah, currently the goal is just to have a burner city that's just like 12 burners. That should be fine at the speeds I can do these days. Now, fortunately, the base isn't like super tile perfect or anything. We don't really have a good reference point for how to build some things, though. So I'm not entirely sure, how we're gonna line it up, but it should be fine. I think if I just line it up with this assembler first, yeah, okay. So if I do like a two assembler gap here, that gives me the personal assemblers, then we're good. For one, well, okay, technically anyone who's done default settings could submit it to Space Age Any Percent. There's only one official run. There have been a couple attempts, but the person just wasn't able to do them in one stream, so it wasn't finished. People have been doing. I think there's a couple people working on like their own builds for it. But there's only been a single submitted run. It sounds like my tea water is almost ready, so I'll be right back. No, it's not anti-elites. He's doing default setting stuff. He hasn't done it in 80%. I don't even know if he has interest in any percent. I know he has no interest in, or stopped having any interest in like 1.1 any percent. May maybe some in Space Age any percent, but he's been doing default settings designs. He's doing a run today, I'm pretty sure, or at least trying. If I go to speedrun.com/Factorio related Space Age, Martin Luther. It is a 28-hour run. Yeah, I mean a lot of I I say a lot. There seems to be more interest in the default settings Space Age so far. Because I think at least three or four people are making their own bases for it. But yeah, it's a lot slower than the default settings one. It's not default settings. I think 8 hours, sub 8 hours seems very reasonable. I think for default settings, Space Age. There isn't one completed yet at that time, but I think in segments, people have been getting way under that time. So, like sub 8 hours seems very manageable. I don't know what Space Age limit would be. Obviously, not having to deal with biters and having to go as far as resources helps a lot. I don't expect my run to be faster than the default settings runs, if I'm being completely honest. We're just going to do a run with very, very minimal practice. If you had the choice, you would choose the shorter run. I think it's more that it's when the difference might only be like an hour or two. well, minus the hours of re-rolling definitely has an effect. um, it's probably not optimized enough for hours of re-rolling at this point. But when the difference is only a couple hours or so, you would just go with the one you find most fun, right? If Space Age any percent becomes like under 4 hours or something, then I could see the time gap being pretty massive. But I don't know. There aren't really any estimates so far on the times. There's a lot of like annoying walls of science, but there are some ways to get past them, which is nice. Yeah, exactly. Might as well be true to the game. Why is this? Why don't I just have this there? Oh, because I just wanted the copper to be separated, that's all. Okay, but I think if we do personal assemblers here, we're fine. I think power poles, we're just going to take a very random path through the base, and we'll just move them when we need. Because I am not going to figure out a reference point for that. That's too much work. I do need to take a screenshot of this. You know, if it's zoomed out this far, I can probably still get enough details, right? We'll see. I will run with that on the side and see how it goes. Because it's not tile perfect. Now I do want it to be within like 5 tiles in either direction. Most of the things still fit. We might have to cut a couple drills if it's misplaced too badly, but there's a decent amount of flexibility here. So we are going to copy the seed. This one. Oh, we also need to mess around with tree settings. We have not actually done that yet, and that definitely that definitely matters. Okay, trees, coverage, scale. Yeah, the trees aren't admittedly are not great on this map. If I increase the scale, there might be a section where it pushes them far away. Because as long as, like, I don't mind if it's blocking bot stuff. I just don't want it to block stuff I have to hand build. So I want to find a setting where, wait, what's coverage? Okay, coverage is not what I want. I could mess with moisture a little bit. That might have an effect. That also might remove rocks though, so that's always a concern. So 100% we have a decent amount of rocks. We probably still have rocks. These might be the wrong types of rocks at 33. Yeah, that might be too few. Because the thing is, if you get it to be too desert-like, you start. Oh wait, we have recalculator installed. It doesn't matter. It's practice. If you make it too dry, you don't get coal. Okay, this still gets some. Okay, this should be good. This has enough trees. They're not that far in the way, and they're not the best. We'll definitely be finding a different seed at some point. I really like our gleba though. We have a really good gleba seed, I think. The rest of it kind of is okay. Fulgora is decent. Volcanus is all right. Novice is meh. It's not bad by any means, but it's definitely not great. Like this patch is a bit too far. It would be much better if it was here. So it's kind of harder to use than I would like. Okay, so if we combine that trees with now we mess with the scale. That puts them all at the top of the patch. That does not help us. What else moves trees around? Oh, actually, wait. You know what? This doesn't have that many. They're in a lot of different spots, but I think we can work with this. We should be okay with this. Doesn't need to be amazing. Like, we're doing like an 8-hour run, you know, spending a couple extra minutes chopping trees is not going to make a difference in any meaningful way that I care about. Yeah, we'll be fine. Okay, yeah, this is very manageable. Okay, so we'll save this as spinny practice seed. I say practice seed. It's also the seed we'll be using, but I meant it like practice plus seed, but I don't think you can put pluses in it. Okay, now I'll adjust this. I wonder if there's a way to change the default. Default, huge. Wait, what's dialogue? Heading, huge. There we go. Okay. So yeah, now we just try to roughly recreate our base, and we should be fine. I just want to get to like green science. Should be fine. Ooh, wait, actually, I didn't realize how good of a location these huge rocks were. Okay, and then there's more you can grab later once we have the first one up. Okay, that was a terrible roll, but it's not the end of the world. But you know, it could have been a lot better for sure. This is not supposed to go there. There we go. Okay, and then we'll just do another one. Craft one more. Now you can no longer drop resources on the ground. Well, you can. They no longer get put back into the machine. So that's a little bit annoying. It's not like a huge loss. It's just a couple minor optimizations that can no longer be done in like any percent. It doesn't affect any percent that much. It probably, I feel like it could affect Steel Axe by like a full second, which still isn't a lot. But it does basically make it that the distance you can be when you get the machine crafted is a little bit smaller. Gosh, it's kind of hard to go through the crafting queue fast in something like this. Because there's just so many things in the hotbar to deal with now. Okay. You can't pre-craft science, so honestly, mining that isn't that important. Actually, it's more important for me to mine the copper early than it is to mine the iron. Because the new start definitely, you need to produce a certain amount of some resources before you can start... Why was that rotated? Before you can start pre-crafting some things. Okay, now we'll get the rest of them. That's why I wanted to do the practice, get a rough idea of what all we need to do in what order. I think an early copper drill is important because that unlocks electronics. So you can't start pre-crafting anything for labs or science packs until you've mined 15 copper. I don't know the actual number. I want to say 15 copper. See, there's one, maybe two more rocks here, right? Looks like just one. There are more if I want to go a little bit farther. I think that would be worth it, actually. Yeah, let's go a little bit farther. We'll get this one. And that should be all of the ones we care about. I think am I in single player right now? I think I am, but okay, I have the setting that makes it fine. You can't queue up anything until you make a lab. Oh, that sucks. I wasn't even thinking of like crafting queue annoyances. Okay, so that's 5, 6. There we go. I'm not actually counting that hard. I don't know why I was saying numbers. I do like the patches. I do like the starter patches. I don't hate the seed. I think early game is decent. I think later game the seed falls off though. Okay, I have a decent amount of coal, so I can actually finish copper first before I expand coal more. I think this is slightly misaligned from where I wanted it, but it's not bad. Okay, and then we'll do a set of coal. Let's see, how's our stone? Stone is all right. And then we will need an iron chest because I don't actually have any wood I can use, but that's fine. We have not finished our hotbar. Then we'll probably do a decent amount more coal than I probably need. Oh, that looks ugly. There we go. Okay. And then that should be enough. We'll do the lab. And then hopefully we can start on the science. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good enough. I actually want a little bit more coal. Now that I think about it, and then we do this. We can just do one. Okay, 12 coal drills should be sufficient. 6 iron, 13 or 6 copper, 13 iron. Yeah, we can live with that. Okay, now we need a power pole. And then I guess while this stuff crafts, because we will have to craft for a while. Okay, and then we'll do 10 science packs, 10 more science packs because you can't really pre-craft them. Yeah, you basically lose. You no longer have the really cheap, slow crafting options anymore, which is a little bit annoying. Okay. Is this really where I wanted it to be? Let's see. Okay, yeah. No, that has plenty. That was a very weird click order. I got very confused there. Okay, they changed this though, so I can no longer do any of the queuing that I normally would want to do here. Okay. That should be fine. Ah, this feels so weird. I'm really not used to the new research order. Oh, at least we can get automation pretty easily still. And then I guess we can just start crafting some of those. Okay, we can mine rocks just to get them out of the way. Because I don't know what else, what else I would really be doing. Okay, and then I said I wanted to do my personal assemblers there. So we just need to get some power poles all the way here. That shouldn't be too bad, actually. I could handcraft more science packs. That might not be an awful idea, because it's not like I'll be using assemblers for a while. Okay, that should be good. If we just go down and then over, we'll probably clear everything decently enough. Yeah, there we go. That should be fine. Okay, I would actually just like to move this a little bit closer. I'm going to do that now, even though it loses a little bit of a little bit of research time. It's not a huge deal. There we go. Because we need to do automated labs a little earlier than normal. We actually would want a second lab, I think, pretty early. Although I should wait until I have personal assemblers up and running. Okay. And then, for now, we can just do gears while we make the others. Wait, that would go here. Okay, because I wanna get those like semi-automated pretty soon, just so I don't have to think as much. And then we'll just keep crafting inserters, because honestly, we're not going for like an amazing time. We don't have to have this part super optimized or anything. Okay, now we'll switch this over. Then we got the inserters already, so we might as well use them. There we go. And copper, and then I wanted another lab. So we can get electric mining drills, which feels so weird having to do that as a research. I'm still not used to that. And then we'll get one more lab, and then we'll get the other assembler up and running for wires, because we need 4 lab probably 4 assemblers here, right? And then these ones can be cables. There we go. Okay, that should research stuff decently. So now we just need a bunch of stone furnaces, which we can get pretty easily. We'll just do some spray feeding, because I don't care that much. Okay, now we can start with this, and then it probably goes here, right? Yeah, I'm gonna say it goes there. We'll start with this half. That should be fine for whenever we do get electric drills. Yeah, I don't think I care too much about the extra resources. So this would probably be one. How many is that? I think I have 14. That feels right. It's a weird number, but it feels like the amount I would have done. So extend this a bit, and then we'll go back to placing the inserters. Awesome. Okay. We don't actually need outputs right now, because we just want to be able to get this up and running. And then we power it. We can power the other side, actually. Actually, yeah, it doesn't matter where these power poles go. They power the other side anyway. Okay. How close are... Wow, this takes really long to get electric drills. And this is why we're practicing, because now I'm realizing I probably could afford to do more assemblers and more assemblers for... Yeah. More burner drills and more assemblers for science would probably be okay. Okay, now we have that. Awesome. And we could just do spray feeding, which is always very convenient, even if it's a little tedious to do. And this can probably just clear right here. Okay, that should be fine. Yeah, this should be totally okay. Okay, I'm pretty sure I was aware of that. I think that's how I designed it for those to be removed. Not ideal, but you know, it works. Although this is probably supposed to be a tile lower, but yeah, it's fine. Actually, yeah, it was supposed to be a tile lower. Or like 2 tiles lower. Right? Yeah, okay, never mind. I was like, wait a minute, I'm missing a lab. This makes so much more sense. Yeah, okay. That's a lot more reasonable. Okay, and then we can do iron chest, that should be fine. Power poles can go through there, that can connect, although I think it already was. And now we can do inputs. And chests, which I did not put on my hotbar, awesome. Actually, I didn't fill out much of my hotbar, did I? Okay, there we go. I got confused by not having the researches and forgot to actually do something. Okay, and then we need outputs. I guess we might as well do the outputs. It's not that expensive to do them. We don't need burner drills at all, which is very good, or burner inserters at all. Not this time around. We will do burner space age at some point, but not quite yet. And I'm going to assume that's enough drills. It should be fine. And now we need a couple more drills. Okay, I keep clicking those. I think my mouse sensitivity is a bit off over what I normally do. Because everything feels a little bit rough. Okay, and then this can just go here. And we should be good. Okay, so now coal's fully automated. We can get more drills. I don't know if we need more drills here, but we might as well. That should be good. I feel like, does this go over more? I feel like this should go more. I'm going to make the assumption that I wanted this to be a little bit longer, because this feels too short. Okay, and those are connected. We do need to chop more trees. We can craft a bunch of drills while we do that, a bunch of inserters. Okay, we actually crafted a lot more wire than I expected. Because I was expecting it would be handcrafting wire at this point, because I'm being honest, I was not keeping up with my wire feeding. Okay, there we go. Now we run out of wires. Perfect. Also, this patch of trees is close. It probably isn't the best way to do it, though, but it should be fine. Okay, we're definitely going to need power soon, so let's actually prep for a power expansion. So that is 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 1. And then we'll do some pipe. Okay, that should be all right. Okay, and then direct feeding, awesome. Nice and easy. Cool. That should give us a lot more iron. I don't actually know how high up that iron is supposed to go, but this feels right-ish. Okay. Okay, we're out of those. It's probably time for us to set up the inserter assemblers, or not the inserter assembler, the conveyor belt assembler, which we definitely should have had that up earlier, but it's not a huge deal. Okay, so that would go here. 1, 2. We need more inserters. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. There we go. And definitely more gear inserters for later, which actually should also go in a chest, I think. Okay, I don't think I need to expand science yet, because it's not like I am outpacing it by any means, so I'm going to keep those as wire assemblers. Okay, and then 1, 2, 1, 2 output should be reasonable. We're going to craft a bunch of those. I don't know how many I need, but you can't go wrong with chests. You need a lot of them. Okay. And then we can just go back to regular inserters and everything should be okay. Still have enough copper. Science is fine. Okay, let's do the regular inserter build. The inserter build, the furnace lane. Wait, did I announce in my Discord? Hold on, I have to check real quick. Yes, I did. Okay, cool. And there we go. Okay, so that should give me a lot. And then we can just do the same on the other side. Wasn't actually counting. So this would need, I think, 30? Right? No, that would need about 20. Okay, so we do have the right amount of drills right now. Perfect. And now we do them all. Okay. Which needs a gap here, and then we switch to long inserters. This would be staggered. I wanted to do 5 and 3. Should be good. I will need some long inserters. Actually, did I space it right? No. Right? No, never mind, that's right. Yep, no, we're good. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. And then regular inserters. And then now I can just start using this as my copper cable assemblers. Should be totally fine. Bam, bam. 1, 2. Then straight across. Okay. Now we no longer need these. So these can be converted to science. These can get 1 stack each. We need a couple more labs. We do have enough inserters. Perfect. So that would go like this, and then here. When we get a chance. Okay. I doubt, honestly, we probably didn't need those extra labs, but doesn't hurt. And then, well, we're gonna need lamps at some point, I guess. Okay. That should be alright. We don't really need those gears. We're totally fine. Okay, now we do a smelting lane here. So this should be roughly the right spot. Which is all we really need. And then I think I remember I had it looping around. Yes, that would be here. But for now, it can be hand-fed just so we get automated circuits. And then gears. And then I think I need a buffer chest at some point soon, but I don't think I have that at the moment, which is probably a mistake. We're going to do copper, and we're just going to hand-feed the circuits for now. Although they are technically fully automated now. Just not that fast. Okay. And now we need the rest of them all, basically. And then these, again, have a side load, so this would be the rest of the circuits. Okay, and then this is in the way. I would like to start getting steel axe, so I might do a small steel build right here. That'll give me steel axe in a couple minutes. We'll just hand feed that, and everything should be all right. Now for this, we can do entirely long inserters. It's a little bit easier to build, although not necessarily worth it. Okay, and then that can get side-loaded. Okay, and then these, I think we'll give those a regular output. So that way we have a buffer. There we go, so that looks a lot nicer. Circuits, wire. We can actually start doing fast inserters, because it's not like we're going to be outpacing this at all. That'll give us a little bit more from the space that we have. Although I don't know. I don't feel we're that limited by that. Actually, let's not do fast inserters. We'll do one just to get it out of the way. But then the rest of it, I would prefer to be regular inserters. Okay, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. That was a very weird pattern. That's going to be annoying to upgrade. Oh, he's healthy. Well, welcome, welcome. Okay. Now we need a splitter. We need a couple buffer chests. We need some filter inserters, or whatever they're called. They're just called inserters now, aren't they? Yeah, that's just every inserter. Okay. But yeah, I would like a buffer chest so we can split that. I think I would like to actually filter these eventually. I should probably do that now. Yeah, I should definitely do the filters now, because I will forget and never do them later. You think like during the Celeste era? Oh yeah, when I had a couple weeks where I couldn't really use the computer. Sit at a computer. Yeah, that was fun. Celeste was a good game. Okay, now we make them all. Which needs a lot more assemblers. Which is very, very easy to come by. I wonder if we have steel axe yet. I'm gonna guess no. Yeah, we probably don't have steel axe yet. Okay, now I delete these because copper is automated. So this can just go here. And then for coal, I think I can just take it from wherever. There we go. That should be enough coal. As long as it's not mixed mining, we're okay. Okay, and then we're good on copper for a bit. I don't actually need to worry about the expansion. Let's just do the inserters. So if this is the mall, these go here. And then we have, I want to say inserters first, because we already have belt production. I want these to be prioritized. And then regular belt. And then we need some fast inserters, which I can grab from here. That will make this a lot faster. A lot faster for the fast inserters. Okay, buffer chests. And there we go. So that means science goes here. And we're at green science. Honestly, 20 minutes to green science isn't too bad, considering we are very unpracticed. Actually, this input would be here. I don't know if that can grab from that. We'll do here. I don't, it's not tile perfect. I do not know why I care. Okay, and then we have a bunch of trees in the way, so I'm hoping we got steel axe. We're close to getting steel axe, so I'm gonna build this as gradually as I can, and we'll just set them all right now instead. Yeah, well, let's do them all first. Okay, yeah, we don't actually. Oh, that's honestly the steel is probably why we're out of stuff. Actually, no, we have more important things to do. Yeah, we have more important things to do than wait for steel axe. There we go. I say that as we unlock steel axe, but we need to get more iron production. I forgot that the whole point of an on-patch mall is to have the mall like gradually expanded, which we were not doing. Okay, now we need a bunch of regular inserters. I did not mean to craft those. They're not a bad thing to have by any means, but we definitely didn't need them. Okay, let's do like 8. And then, I don't know, I'll move this up one. It wasn't really supposed to be there, but it's fine. There we go. 5 regular inserters. We're just going to wait here. There's no point in coming back. There we go. Stopping at 98%. I thought it... I heard the ping. I heard the ping, so I was like, oh, SteelX must be done. And it felt like I was mining things faster, but it was 100% a placebo effect. Thank you. I genuinely thought I was done. That's great. Oh, okay, now it feels like it's actually faster. It probably was because I transitioned from mining rocks to mining furnaces and stuff, so it's just naturally a lot faster. Okay, regular inserters, and we'll just complete this. And then we'll have a gap there for later. Okay, that should give us a lot more iron, so our mall should actually work. We do technically need these at some point. We might as well research them now. Because it's not like we're limited by research or anything. Also, wait, did they remove electronics as a research? Oh my gosh, they did. Fast inserter doesn't have a prereq anymore. Okay, I mean, I guess that makes sense. It just wasn't expecting that for some reason, but it tracks. Okay, and we'll just make all the assemblers we need, and then we can start on the labs as well. Actually, no, we're not fully done with inserters. Oh wait, why am I handcrafting inserters? Don't we have them all? We do, but it was missing iron, so it wasn't really running. So I guess we have them all, but also not really. Okay, so that's 8. So I'm going to assume I did 12. I do have a picture of the build, but this is largely just based on feeling, if I'm being completely honest. Like, how many do I feel I built when I got a rough design set up a few weeks ago? Which is definitely how you should base designs. Okay, I did not finish this. Okay, there we go. This you know what? I think I miscounted. This feels way more than 12. I don't know. It's probably because I built it in a weird order. It's probably fine. Okay, there we go. That was the perfect amount of power poles. That's awesome. Planning, then doing everything based on feeling. So most of the planning wasn't for like actual like locations. It was just so I have a reference of what I need in the run. Because there were a lot of small things I was going to forget, like military science. So most of novice planning was just getting a rough value of how much we wanted. But yeah, we have a plan. We just decided not to stick to it too strictly. It's just a vibe. It's just vibes based, okay? Okay, and then we can extend this as far as it can go. That doesn't match perfectly, but it's close enough. I don't know. Something's too big somewhere or too short somewhere, but that's fine. It's not like we waste much by overdoing it, unless I wanted something else to be there, but I don't think I did. Okay, now I need to figure out how I meant to get gears onto this. Oh yeah, I remember. I messed it up. I messed up the spacing there, so I decided to do it like that. Perfect. Okay, that is technically working as intended. It just, the way I intended wasn't very good. There we go. Okay, that should give us a lot more iron, and now we can do the main mall, which needs splitters, fast inserters, all that good stuff. So that's 1, 2. The easiest way to do this is to not have to think. Obviously, we're doubling up on some inserters here that don't need to be doubled up on, but it makes it easier, and voila. Okay, I think everything is good there. We just need to... Are we missing... Yes, we are. I was like, we are missing a lot of a lot of gear production. This one is now supposed to be extended. There we go. Okay, and then I can actually repurpose this as well. That was a very weird way to do that, but it does the job. This should reduce the burden on the main mall. Okay, look at that. Smart belt's actually doing what it's supposed to. Is that on the right side of the belt? Yes, it is. Okay, I didn't actually check, but we're good. Okay. And now we just keep expanding this pretty much to the end. And it just keeps going. It keeps on going. There we go. I have a lot of belt. I need to stop picking up belt. See, is that a gap of 8? Okay, that is a gap of 8. I've just been doing one drill every, like, 8. It feels like a good number. And then we're definitely missing... Well, we do have some steel, right? Although I don't have steel research yet. So we need 5, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 32. Yeah, that should be good enough. And then we can recover these. Which means we probably didn't actually need the underground there. We also, yeah, we didn't need to recover any of that. I don't know why I care that much. It doesn't matter. Okay, and then I would also like to get drills in the mall and assemblers. So drills would be first. Probably something like that. And then output. And then we'll do that for this as well, for the assemblers. Okay. Although, actually, do the assemblers really need... Honestly, we don't really need to automate those assemblers, do we? We just need to automate these ones. Okay, I think that's everything. Oh, wait, no, I forgot... I definitely forgot pipe, which means we can't fit steel here. Let's do under pipe and regular pipe. Okay, regular pipe, under pipe. I don't know which one is going to be which, so I'm just going to do. See, this is under pipe. This is regular pipe. Should be fine. Yeah, that should be all right. And now we can fit the assemblers in here. Perfect. Okay, we will actually do. I will actually do one. It's a little space inefficient, but it's not really like a bad thing. And then we don't need iron. No matter how many times I set it up to use iron, we don't need iron for blue assemblers. That can actually go there, but we only need to carry like one of those at any given point. Most of them all can be limited to stacks of 4, I think, without too much trouble. Okay. We're still missing assemblers for some reason. I think because we haven't upgraded most of our base to blue inserters yet. Things are running a bit slow. This doesn't have a prio. That also does not help. There we go. And we'll just keep crafting these. This is somehow missing copper. I think we need to start crafting some drills. And we're also, I imagine, low on power. You know what? I think that's probably the source of all of our trouble, isn't it? I did not realize we were that low on power. Yep. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. This feels like a 2-tile gap. I think that's what I would have done here. Because 2 tiles gives you a decent amount of flexibility to change it later. 4... 1, 2, 3, 4, and then double this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and we're only going to set up half of these for now. I don't... Actually, no, never mind. I have the inserters. Oh, also, if anyone's wondering, they ruined pole dancing. It is now significantly harder than it used to be. So it's not worth it anymore, I don't think. Because it used to be very consistent. They changed what happens if you switch what you're holding while you're looking at an inserter, though. Or if you're holding down a button and you change the items, it doesn't instantly place like it used to. You have to move it by a whole tile before it places, which makes pole dancing have a very weird pattern. And it means if you mess up in a much worse way than you did previously. Like, it's not fixable like it used to be. Not immediately fixable. So pole dancing, in my opinion, no longer worth doing, which is unfortunate, because it was a fun little, it was fun little tech, but the trade-offs are way too high now. Like you never really benefited much from it. So now to have like any risk at all is very much not worth it. So it's only really worth it when you can do it 100% of the time. And now if you can't do it 100% of the time, if you mess up, you lose way more time. And I don't... It's unfortunate. I think it also broke some other stuff, but that's the only thing that the ghost change affected me in. I don't know why I redid that. Okay. Power is probably barely holding on now. We need a little bit more actual iron. I meant to grab some from the from Burner City that we've been completely neglecting. There we go. This is not going to run for long. We don't have a ton of coal here. But it's currently our only source of coal. Or only source of spare iron. 1, 2, 3. I wasn't counting. I'm just going to assume it's probably enough. Oh, we definitely need to extend this as well. Okay, we're going to do... That should be almost a whole lane. 10. Okay, we can get the other from the top whenever we get back. That should be totally fine. That doesn't need a buffer. As long as it's like decreasing the strain on the mall, everything's okay. Okay, and then we loot them all, and we should be good now. Let's do one more. This should fill out the power plant. We'll be good for a while. I hope our coal expansion is enough. And now we don't really need more assemblers. We do need steel. Huh. Did I miscount? No, I didn't. Well, yes, but not in the way that I thought I miscounted. Oh, wow, that barely clears that. That wasn't planned, actually, if anyone's wondering. I just lined this up with, like, the left of the lake, and it just happened to barely squeeze past that, and that makes me really happy. I like that a lot. Okay, this should have plenty of iron now. Its main limiting factor is coal. Hello, Rationalize. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the luck. Fortunately, this is just practice, so we don't need a ton. We can start researching now. Let's do that. This circuit network, fluid handling, just random junk. Lab speed actually should be earlier. Let's do it there though, because I kind of put off steel a little bit. I actually might start the stealing now, because I think we have enough in our mall. I need to get a little bit of steel, so that way we can get blue assemblers and eventually steel furnaces. Okay, I wanted the stealing to be here. So that would go here, here, so steel would be here. Okay, perfect. I don't know where here I wanted it. I think higher is better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I think it goes this way. Because coal would come from the bottom. Nope. I have it coming from the top for some reason. That's fine. No, I guess there is a reason, because I use it for other stuff later. That needs a gap. We also need a lot more inserters, so I'm just going to craft a bunch of those. We're just going to click. We can craft all the wire. I think we're slow enough that it's fine. Okay, half of a steel lane I think is a decent start. And then we need coal. I actually kind of just stole the coal from the side, so that was a weird way to do it. But I guess it's okay. Okay, now normal outputs. These did not craft fast enough. they did not craft fast enough. I don't know why I thought they would. Okay, now the moment of truth. How the heck do you build... How the heck do you build a steel lane? I think this works? Yeah, I think that works. And then... This is actually too high up. But that fixes it. Okay, we'll be fine. And then we can just get coal. Wait, why am I getting coal from there? What the heck? Oh, that's the whole ship. I thought that was just a part of the ship that I could mine. Okay. We will have to move these drills, but I think that works just fine. Okay, now we can just build it like a... Well, I say normal lane, but the speedrun steel lane very much is not normal by any means. Actually, I don't know. Is this what his typical steel lane looks like? I feel like the most common way I see it, outside of maybe like Mega Bases, but it's just like the most common casual way that I see a steel lane is the random gaps, like the gap for iron in between, or just stealing it directly from a pure iron lane. I don't tend to see that design very often, which is a shame because it's really cool. We are very limited on these. Oh wait, that's because they're inserter limited, aren't they? Or assembler limited. We can actually improve those pretty easily. Okay, and then we'll just handcraft as many as we can. We do have steel automated soon, so that should make it a lot simpler. And we should be able to, you know, fully automate things and not just partially automate stuff. Okay, the delay there is going to be a bit high, but it should be sufficient. We will place the belts as we go. I'm not actually going to do the other half of the steeling yet. I'm just going to do what I can. Okay, never mind. I don't have to make a trip over here for more furnaces, but I probably should. Yeah, no, this is going to take too long, isn't it? It's fine. There we go. The important thing is we have steel. Not a lot of it, but we do have it, and that's what matters. And then we filter out the steel to the left, and that should be fine. That should give me not a full steel lane, but it's not far off. And then we can do a steel buffer chest here with some iron chests, or we could do steel chests, but I don't think I have enough steel yet to do a steel chest. Okay, and then we can do we can just bring this with us. Passes by here, passes over here, it goes straight through. And then that would mean this is the brick lane. Awesome. We can do steel furnaces basically anywhere here now. Like here probably would work. Steel furnaces. And then this can, I don't know, carry on through to the top of science would probably be okay. Because now we're just trying to get this over to the mall. So that way we can automate the blue assemblers. So that should work. Okay, that is technically blue assembler automation. Not a ton of them, but it is blue inserter automation by some definition. It's just, you know, not a ton of it. I would actually don't want this to be prioritized. I just want these to have a limit because I do want those for personal crafting. Okay, we definitely put off upgrades a lot longer than we should have. We're gonna have to just steal from the belt. Okay. Actually, I don't know. Are we iron limited? I can't really tell. Or inserter automated? I'd say we're probably iron automated. Or iron automated, iron limited. Yeah, I definitely upgraded those in a weird order. I guess we will be getting steel chests soon, or steel furnaces soon-ish. So I guess that'll fix our bottleneck pretty good. Okay. I think that's as much as we can reasonably do there. As long as power isn't limiting, we are getting our full production out of this. Okay, let's do the stone furnace lane. Let's do the steel furnaces. That seems like a good next step. I don't think we need these. I don't know if we need the space though. We'll have this go up as much as it can. We can always destroy our furnace, our boiler automation. That's easy enough to do. Okay, and then inputs. And then for now, we can just hand feed it coal. I'm assuming it gets coal from this. So I'm actually going to destroy half of that. This could go as far as it can while being mixed, not mixed mining. Okay. And now we can just, I guess one here is sufficient. I don't know. That spacing is a bit off. Let's actually do this. Because this is easier to expand, right? Yeah, that's more reasonable. Don't know if we have enough for that. Okay, there we go. That gives me more opportunity later, which is nice. Okay, now we have steel furnaces. Awesome. Not a ton, but we do have them. We'll limit it to 4 stacks of each. Actually, that feels like way too much. I can't imagine we'll need that. And now we just keep handcrafting these because we will need them sooner rather than later. And I want to use all the resources that I have currently in my inventory for that. Okay, how high up should this go? I think we're missing... I want to say I'm still missing things that I would need for... Actually, that's not a good spot for that. Needs to go here. There we go. The reason I did that is because I need to do refineries and junk in that spot. Okay, research is really not going. Are we copper? Oh, we're copper limited. I didn't realize we were copper limited. That just doesn't seem right, so I wasn't even checking. Although, if we aren't copper limited, we're gonna be iron limited soon, so it's not a huge problem either way. Now we have to start clearing a bunch of rock as we expand, which is fun. Okay. These should be limited to higher amount, because we use a lot of them. Okay, I'm assuming we're just copper ore limited, which is a very easy expansion. As long as this isn't 15, it's doable. Perfect. And then we need a little bit more electric poles. I should really automate these to some degree. Or maybe just do like a wire autom... Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter. We're not super crafting Q limited. Yeah, I'm going to assume that the next step... I don't think we need to automate pump jacks quite yet. So that would mean the next step... Wait, where is pump jacks? Wait, why did I do solar energy? I guess I was just kind of clicking. So our next step is setting up chemical plants and refineries, which should be very easy. I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't know what it would be. So it's probably fine. Okay, and then these can be done with blue assemblers. Oh, you know what we don't have? We don't have enough regular pipe production for this. This can go to the outside, I guess. Yeah, it's a little awkward to do it like that, but it's fine. Input. Input. There we go. It's perfect. See, now we have chem plants. I don't really know where they're going to be outputted. Probably to the right. Outputted? That's not a word. Is it? I don't think that's right. Okay, there we go. Definitely off a little bit there over my original plan. But that's the intention. Well, no, I'm not intentionally trying to be off. The intention is that it doesn't matter, is a better way to phrase it. This isn't supposed to extend this far. I know that much. I was like, wait a minute, it's not supposed to go into the copper patch, because we use this copper patch for batteries. So that means it would stop here and go over. Now we need to start upgrading to steel furnaces, which we should have a decent amount by now, actually. Yeah, 23, that's fine. I don't know what the limiting factor is. Honestly, nothing. They seem to be working fairly full speed. It's probably input limited, if anything. Okay, now that we've started upgrading, we can do more upgrades. which is really just Factorio in a nutshell, just infinitely upgrading your base. In some ways, Factorio really is just an idle game. Number go up, factory must grow. Effectively the same thing. Okay, so those are working a lot better. We definitely chose the worst spot to start with in our upgrades, but I guess that's fine. I guess, do we have inserters? I don't think we have surplus inserter production yet, do we? Oh, yeah, we do. Okay, cool. And then we'll steal from this again. I feel like this isn't producing full speed, but I don't know why. Oh, I see why. We're copper limited early on. These aren't mixed mining, right? Okay, so let's actually make this our next steel furnace upgrade. Can we do that? Can we craft that by hand? No, we can't. Okay. There we go. That's a lot nicer. Okay. Really was not expecting it to be a copper limit for so long. I guess we expanded copper really fast, or copper consumption really fast, and didn't really care about the rest, huh? So it does make sense. I'm going to build as much of the steeling as I can, although I think it needs 100 inserters per side. No, yeah, so we're actually short about 25 or so. There's a possibility that I can not outpace, underpace them. If I build slowly enough, we're fine. But that probably shouldn't be the goal, because that doesn't really make things faster. Is there anything else I can build over here for the steel lane? I guess I could make the coal connection, and then this can just be side-loaded. There we go. Okay, I don't know why I have so many drills. I don't know where they came from. They might have been from this. Oh, they're probably from stone. Yeah, no, those are definitely from the stone lane. Well, not stone lane, the stone chest that I got rid of, because it doesn't really, serve our purpose anymore. Okay, we definitely need more gaps in our base, because it's kind of hard to run through it. And then we just have a bunch of iron that I don't need. We also have a bunch of gears I don't need. I don't have many places I could feed them. I guess I can give them to Red Science. We're still copper limited, huh? I guess we're missing a couple steel furnaces still, and I think this is designed around mining productivity, so we probably need to get that earlier than I should. But that's okay. Okay, that seems to be working all right. We have inserters. Awesome. Okay, everything's limited. Are these running full speed? They're not quite. Okay, so we do need one more expansion, or maybe two more expansions. Okay, hopefully that gives us all the iron we need. Now we can move on to... What would be after this? One more power expansion, which is a little bit more manual than I would like still, but it shouldn't be too bad. So it looks like if we fit about 12 in our original one, I think we can fit 15. Let's do that. A little bit more pipe. We'll need an underground segment, which we already have. And we'll need 15 drills, which we do have drills automated, but the real question is, have they been working? Yes, awesome. That is very nice. And then we'll craft a few more pump jacks. We should have the regular pipe done by the time we get there. Although, just in case, I would like to do a little bit more. Nope, not like that. Well, that's not going to give us the pipe that we're missing. Okay, perfect. Hello, Lapino. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we're doing the run tomorrow. It's not going to be super practiced. I'm practicing the early start, the early game, because I wanted to get a feel for how flexible my base was, to see if I actually had to care about being tile perfect. And it looks like as long as we have like a couple reference points early on, we'll be totally fine. That is not going to run for very long. Huh. I overproduced those. But not by as much as I expected. Oh, that was way that was way well, it was way too many of those. We didn't need that many. Oh well, not a huge deal. Okay, perfect. Honestly, we only overproduced by one. That's not too bad. I actually could place it here and it would run. Never mind, it won't run at all. Okay, never mind. We'll just leave it. It's fine. Okay. So power's expanded. That's the only power expansion we'll need for a while. Did I connect water? I don't think I connected water. I'm still, it feels, I'm still not used to the whole steam uses like 1/10 of the water. So I knew I didn't need another pump jack, but I keep forgetting to connect the second pumps. I guess pump jack's the wrong word, but I keep forgetting to connect the second pumps anytime I build power, like in any meme run or just any Factorio play. Okay, are those all running? Okay, they are all running. So we can do a few more steel furnaces, I believe, but we're mostly done with these upgrades, which is very nice. So now we need to finish steel, and then we should be good for blue science. So this goes all the way, and it can go 1, 2. I think it can go 6 to 8 pass. We'll do 2 extra just in case. If it doesn't run, it doesn't run. It's not the end of the world. I don't actually know if we have enough drills here for that to work. We'll see. Okay, and then this can go from the other side. Not the spacing I meant to have, but I think we're not hurting for iron that badly. So we should be good. I don't think I need to fix it. See, I'm just going to assume that's okay. I'm surprised we ran out of belt. I guess we haven't picked up belt in a while because I knew I was pretty good on belt. Okay, so steel production should be a lot better now. We can actually start doing steel furnaces too. There we go. What's next? We do need to get the science researches. I'm actually going to go do that now so I can get the chem plants building. Wait, can I do more? What are we limited by here? I'm not entirely sure. I think we're still limited by steel. Yeah, we are actually limited by steel, but not really. We might be inserter speed limited, which is totally fine. Okay, and then we're just going to take this and we're going to walk in a straight line because the oil that we need is right over here somewhere. And this should unlock the tech tree. Doesn't need to go into anything. It just needs to exist. Okay, now we can start researching all the stuff we need for blue science and junk. Circuits, that's a weird research order, but it should be okay. And now we can set up them all. Okay, we got chemical plants, we got chemical plants. I set those up twice, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay, refineries. There we go. So far, that looks all right. I think I need gear production here, don't I? I want to say I need supplemental gear production because these start to run out. So we need these. That way it actually runs a little bit better. And then I think I remember I had like a weird copper a weird copper lane there. I don't remember exactly where it was going. But I think now we just need blue science. You like the idea of resupplying from on patch? What do you mean? Like, what kind of like resupply? Also, did I finish the drills here? Yes, it is, I think, getting enough coal. Oh, how you refill the belts from the furnaces? Oh, yeah. I get. Okay, you mean like, I was thinking like resupply a different base. Yeah, the to allow you to have like infinitely long ones. It's really nice. I think it's fun that speedruns do that. Because it makes it way more convenient to build them all when you can just have it keep expanding as far as the patch goes, effectively. There's not really a limit past that. It's just as far as the patch can go. Okay, and then we don't really use this science that fast, but we'll put this anyway. And now our inventory is full. Awesome. We should probably research tool belt. Wait, did we finish labs? Yeah, no, that's right. I think I'm missing... that's why it's slow. Okay, now for I don't know if fun part is the right word. But now for blue science, which I think as long as we like leave a gap here for water, we shouldn't really be able to mess this up. Let's start it here. Oh, we don't have drills. That's fine. That isn't like a mess up though. It's just, you know, unnecessary. Okay, we probably should loot them all. I keep forgetting to do it when I'm over there for belts. We're gonna get rid of that. We probably need to chop trees soon. Inventory's a bit full of junk I do not care about. We can toss it into here, and then I think everything's okay. That is not quite enough furnaces to do what I need, but it's pretty close. And then I was missing one other thing, drills. There we go. Okay, drill production is sufficient, it seems. I mean, everything seems sufficient for the speed that we're going these days. It's not like we're as fast as we used to be. Let's do 7. I think 7 with mining productivity will fill the belt before we have to start consuming it. Huh, that was a weird double power pole. I feel like this could have been spaced a little bit better, but that's okay. And then we will need a side load here. And then this splits into the other lane. So this would be the drills. Actually, no, one tile up would be the drills. I would go like this, I believe. There we go. Yeah, because this would be coal. Yep, okay, that looks right. That looks right. And then this is just a normal copper lane. So we'll do the copper lane first just because it's easier. I mean, I probably should have the iron lane running first because it actually gives us something useful like steel furnaces, but those kind of like optimizations aren't that important. I just want to get the copper one up because this is the build that we can copy to other lanes. So it's nice to get up early. Because we'll use this for bot expansions, basically. I think. I don't remember if we're doing 12 long or 20 long, but... Or, sorry, 12 long or 24. Probably 12 long. There's not much reason for us to do red belts. Because it's way easier to do yellow belt, especially if space is not a factor. If space is a limiting factor, red belt's really useful. But for something like this, you're not really going to be limited by that. Okay, I don't know why I key-picked that. I definitely could have just pressed 4. Would have been a much nicer to try to switch to the belt. Okay, 1, 2, and then these should be connected now, right? Awesome. Okay. And yeah, like I said, I didn't think we would have enough, but they should be done now. We can also do assemblers, but yeah, that's 54, more than sufficient. So this would be a normal link, so this would go up to here. This would be a little bit longer, but I don't know how much longer. Probably 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I would have done it 6 longer because that's a good number. Because I need to have... I need to have this split a little bit because this supplies the gears and the pipes, which is kind of how the old any% did it, and I really liked that. So like a lot of this base is roughly, it's very largely based on that one, but on a different seed, just adapted for this one because it just works so well. But I think I changed it a little bit. I actually had these just directly adjacent. And I use long inserters here instead of fast, because then it doesn't matter what side of the belt things are on. I don't have to have like an awkward splitter, which is very nice. That would be 6, probably 6. I don't see why I would do any more than that. And then this side is wire, so that goes up to here. And we should probably get grenades. I feel like we need grenades for clearing stuff. Oh wait, did I turn biters off? I think I did, because I'm pretty sure I copied the seed directly. I just, wasn't that careful in checking. Okay, and now we do outputs. Output, output, input, 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 output, or double input. These could actually technically be yellow, but it doesn't matter too much because the cost difference is not that significant. But it is there. But for this run, it doesn't matter. If I were to copy this a ton of times and was resource limited for a little bit, like trying to get the blue science up and running, it would matter, but I'm not nearly that close to being resource limited. So we'll be okay. And then this would need more iron for sure. Probably the entire other side as well. Okay, I don't actually know where I wanted to get coal from here, though. If I had to guess, I needed a fresh coal lane from the side. But where do I bring that from? Actually, I think I just stole it from... I think in my original design, I just stole it from the main lane. So actually, that would be about here. We can just cut this drill. We can just steal this. Because I couldn't justify making it more complicated. And then we're going to actually go around. Yeah, I couldn't justify going to like a new copper patch, so I just stole from this one. Yeah, that tracks. Although I don't think we can supply plastic with this, so I don't know how I just decided to supply plastic. Maybe I just decided this was probably enough and could probably supply plastic, which isn't a ton of confidence, admittedly, but it's probably fine. Okay, now we need drills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1. Oh my gosh, these rocks are annoying. 2. I wonder if I might be able to decrease the amount of rocks I have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. We just need 15 on each side, basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, well, a little bit ugly, but it does the job. Yeah, definitely a tad ugly, but I wanted to avoid chopping those trees. I think it was worth it. Okay, none of these are connected. That was the worst powerful connection I've ever done. Okay. Awesome. Research is going okay. A little slower than I would like. I think we're limited by something, but I'm not sure what. We're still limited by copper. Okay, so it looks like copper really does not run full speed until we get mining productivity. So I guess I can move that up in the queue, because it's not that expensive. And that makes copper run a little bit better. It should make steel run a little bit better. Actually, I just forgot the supplements for steel. We'll have to go there soonish anyway. Let's not worry about it now. Okay, copper's good. Okay, let's do the refineries. We should have enough of them at this point. 16 and 17, awesome. So I think I have a nice little reference point I can use here too, because I want to say I lined it up here. Yeah, that spot that I decided to place that is not good. Yeah, let's do it here. And then we actually had sushi inputs. We don't need to do the sushi initially, but we do have it at some point. And we're somehow missing pipe, but we have a bunch of iron, so we can do that. That should be easy enough to set up. But yeah, we obviously don't have to do sushi at the start. It's not like, I mean, it's not like we have anything to do sushi pipes. Actually, someone referred to it as spaghetti pipe or smoothie pipe once, and I think that is a fantastic name. Because it's just a bunch of stuff blended together in one pipe. It tracks. I really liked it. I keep calling them sushi pipes out of habit because I just think mixed stuff sushi in Factorio terms. but smoothie makes so much more sense. And then I think we just need one more. Can I actually afford this? Yes, cool. I did not want to have to make a trip back here for that one, because we actually are a little bit oil limited to some degree, to the point where I think we actually have to beacon these. I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure we're oil limited if this is our only connection. And since we're fairly limited on pipe, I can just use under pipes here. And then we'll need pumps for this by the time we get to blue science, or after blue science. Oil plus Pretrol smoothie. Isn't it great? I don't know why Jamba Juice doesn't serve that. It sounds delicious. You can't go wrong with that, right? Okay, so this is actually the only point that I have a screenshot for. I don't have a screenshot of the rest of my base. But it seems like the early game is smooth enough. Blue science in like an hour and a half is reasonable for me these days. That should be all right. I think in the actual run it'll probably be like 15-30 minutes faster. Now that I know the base a little bit better, but this is definitely fast enough. Let's at least practice up until we get the steam engine automated. So we need 2 to output 1, and then this is regular pipe. Then I had something like this. So I guess this just gets truncated here. Okay, so this is gears. This is pipe. This is steam engine. Then we had a splitter. So the whole reason it's set up like this is so that way. Oh wait, this isn't right. There we go. Okay, little loop. There's lots of ways to sideload. That seemed easier in that one instance. It wasn't, but it seemed easier. No, this should be here. There's a reason for that, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, because water comes by this later, that's why. That's why we have the weird spacing. But that's actually it for our starter base, pretty much. I need to go take a screenshot real quick of the next step. I want to practice bots, basically. Well, during the actual run, I'm going to have a copy of Factorio open, so it's a dynamic list I can look at, or it's a dynamic screenshot I can look at. Oh my gosh! Oh, that's loud. Or clashing. I don't know why. It sounded like it was playing the soundtrack twice at once. Okay. Yeah, I think if I zoom out this far, I should be able to make sense of it, right? So this is phase 1 base, phase 1 base. And then we'll take a screenshot of this top half. There we go. And then we'll call that phase 2 base, I guess. It's a very arbitrary distinction. Also, that's a really dumb way to name it. Okay. How many is this? 24 and 26. Okay, we can do that. Okay, so I think the way that I have it set up, I don't know where I'm supposed to get coal. But I'm pretty sure we'll figure it out. So chem plants are supposed to go right here. Oh, so that's why I wanted this. So this should actually be here because this would be that, and then we need a chem plant. This doesn't feel right. I don't know how that's supposed to be powered. Maybe here. Oh wait, this is the wrong spot. I was like, wait a minute, this is too far over. Because the goal is that it outputs onto this, right? So it actually, yeah, it needs to be here. There we go. Okay, and then this makes sense. This feels familiar. Hello, Titus. Welcome, welcome. There we go. Okay, that's what I want. Okay, perfect. Now everything fits together. And then for now, that connection can just go there. We do need to filter it eventually, but we can set up blue science first, and that's when we add the pumps. The important thing is that this works for now. And we need the circuits. We should be getting plastic. So I'm going to make an assumption here that we just steal this coal. That seems reasonable to me. That seems like something I would do. I think we can get enough coal from that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. That should be right. It's supposed to be 26 long because I wanted to leave a gap for the red chips and the, not red chips, the modules. Science production is really slow right now, though. Isn't it? No, actually, no, it's fine. It's just, we researched mining productivity in it, which felt weird. Still throwing me off. Okay, so these are supposed to be different. Okay, the rest of them, though, are good. Okay, and we need some more chests. But yeah, these are supposed to be modules. So these ones are the yellow assemblers, or not yellow assemblers, red chips. Literally not even close to the right word. Okay, and then we don't really copy anything from mixed here, so that helps a lot in how accurate we have to be here, which is good. I know when we used to have to design it, the power poles had to go in a specific spot every time, otherwise it ruined our cut and pasting later. Although, you know, I practiced it so much. Let's see, are yellow assemblers new in Space Age? No. No, they've been around for a while. I never really used them. Except in Space Age. But they're not new to Space Age. It's just the benefit of them is pretty small outside of really long runs, so they don't tend to be used in speed runs or meme runs. But this is a long run, so they're worth it. That's the Mark II assemblers, or Mark III assemblers, whatever they're actually called. Okay, and then that means blue science would be here. And I only need 24 of these, so that would stop there. Okay, now you do input. Nope, that doesn't work. There we go. Let's fix it. I really like that tech. It's a good tech to remove mistakes. There's not that many instances where you can use it because you have to have a large amount of splitters on you to do it meaningfully, and it can't be so wrong that you just didn't need the belt at all. But if you just need to shift the belt a little bit to the left or right, it's really good. Okay, we could actually afford to increase this belt buffer. I don't know why I made it so small. Okay, we don't need quality modules necessarily. We're just going to get some extra green science researches out of the way that we'll need for space. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3. This should work. Okay, and then this will create our... Oops. That was not faster. If you make a mistake, it's definitely not faster. But this will give us our engines for our, what are they called? Pumps? The other kind of pump? There's like 3 separate pumps in this game. I always say the wrong one. These are just the ones that are called pumps, I think, right? There's offshore pump jacks and pumps. And we need the pumps so that way we can filter them to make our sushi oil, or sorry, smoothie oil. Our petrol smoothie. It's good. It has good vitamins, right? I mean, it's organic, technically, in a chemical. from a chemistry standpoint, it's organic, and everyone loves organic smoothies. But we probably shouldn't go around. We probably shouldn't go around drinking it. I don't think it would be the most nutritious smoothie. Pump jack, pump, and offshore pump. Okay, I did get the names right. I wasn't sure. It always... feel like I always say the wrong one. How about electric pump, off pump, and pump? Then an oil pump. There we go. Because to me, the basic pump is the offshore pump. Like that's my go-to for which one is that one. Okay, and then I remember we messed up the spacing here, so I had to do like a really awkward curve here. I don't remember exactly why. But there was a reason. I don't see it in my base, actually. We're gonna leave that there. But I don't remember. I cannot figure it out. Water pump, E-pump, and oil pump. At first glance, I saw it, you said E. coli pump, and it was like, that does not sound good. Okay, sure. And then spacing here doesn't matter too much, I don't think. I think we can do red chips to the right, though. Then we can do a little buffer chest. And that should be okay. We do want to recycle the red chips, I think, because this is mostly just going to go to roboports. Pump it, bop it, flip it. I really hope that was a reference to Bop It. Because I love Bop It. Okay, so this would go here. I'm guessing. And then water. We have not connected water yet. Let's assume this, we didn't flip it. There we go. Yeah, flip it, pump it. No, it works. It very much works in this setting. Okay, I don't know what these are limited by. Probably assembling speed. Also a pump that pumps pumps. That's what we need. Yes. We need to be able to move our pumps around to other pumps. To other places. It'll be perfect. Last time you played Factorio with a buddy, she would start singing Pump It louder. Oh, okay. Yeah. Not a Bop It reference then. Because I don't think that was part of it. Let's see if I can find it. This is Bop It, the Wikipedia of it. It's a children's game. It's like Simon Says kind of thing, where it tells you to, you know, it tells you which side you're supposed to press. Like you're supposed to click like the flip it switch, the bop it switch, the button. So some of them had you like spin it. It was really fun. What time do we start? 2 hours before my stream normally starts. So 11 a.m. Central Time. Central Standard. Wait, are we in Standard Time? Central US Time, whatever that is. 2 hours before my stream normally starts. There we go. My schedule will have it. Actually, I meant to update it on my schedule. Yeah, that's one way to phrase it. Yeah, 24 hours, 4 hours ago. I meant to actually put it on my stream schedule. Stream channel? Channel? No, wait, creator dashboard. I don't like how Twitch organizes some things. The layout makes no sense to me. Community? No, it's like stream manager. No, I never remember where it is. Settings? No. It's in a weird spot. If anybody knows. It's not settings. Channels. Okay. Settings, channel, schedule. I would not have schedule that far down. I don't understand why schedule isn't its own thing. Schedules seem important, you know? Okay, so we will add a stream. 11 a.m. for 8 hours. Specific day. Tomorrow. Now I can just say check my stream schedule. Benny! Exclamation point. Factorio. Save. Let's see if that worked. Okay, technically my stream schedule will have 2 things tomorrow, but it will have the correct one. Nobody uses schedule, I presume. It's just such a good... It's so useful, though. Like, if it was... I think a good chunk of why nobody uses it is because it's so far away to do anything. Like it puts it like first and foremost when your next stream will be when you look at someone's channel. But because they hide it under so many menus, it's incredibly annoying to change. Okay, that should give us enough pumps. Also, we need to get steel. Does this need to be filtered, though? That is the question. Probably. Probably here. This should work, right? On PC, you see no way of getting to your schedule on default Twitch while you're live. That's fantastic. Can you do /schedule? I think you have to type it, probably. Yeah, you have to... Oh, wait, no, you... Wait, can you see it while live? Oh, does it hide the About button? Yeah, it removes the About tab. What the heck? Or it moves the ability to switch between the About tab. You can type /schedule, though. Which is a little more annoying than it should be. There has to be something somewhere. Here we go. That way, it does the work for people. If someone asks, I just give them a schedule command. There we go. That way they don't have to do the effort as much. So it's a decent middle ground, at least. Okay, explosives, automobiles, rails, landfill, yellow science. Okay, so now we need to actually connect the science. It's not running very well, but that's because we just connected steel, right? Okay, so it's going to take us a bit before we get the pumps, but we can connect blue science while we're here. We should probably have a blue science buffer chest at some point. But that point is not now, so we're not going to worry about it. And then we'll loop it down, and we'll loop it back up. Okay. Okay, 130 blue science. Not bad considering I can't really speedrun like I used to. I'm happy with that. We'll probably get like hour 15 tomorrow reasonably well. Yeah, my miner remote. I need to find more places to... I need to find a spot to incorporate that miner into this build. I like that miner a lot. It was 10 out of 10 miner placement for sure. Okay, so now we should probably... I guess we can just steal the engines from these. We need at least like 4 to get it started, right? That's not too many. You've never seen something so impressive? Thank you. It's a peak design, I think. It had such a small use case, but I did like it. It's for people who are in the know. It's for the people who like the miner and wanted to be able to celebrate the miner, so they got an emote. For people who don't know the miner, though, it's not for them. They're on their own. You don't think you like the miner? I think that's sad. The miner was great. You should definitely like the miner. I mean, sure, it's a little bit cursed, but that's not important. Let's see, where do we put this? Probably there, right? Actually, wait, how did I power this? I don't think I powered this. Yeah, I definitely did not have these powered in my design. I definitely got lazy because they have no power poles next to them. Okay, we need a combinator. We did research those, right? Yes. Okay, so how did I set up the combinator? I think it was just a decider, but I do not remember the logic. We'll ignore it for now. And I'll just try to get things set up. Actually, we don't need those yet, do we? Okay, we do need more storage tanks though. Where do I get iron? I guess I can get iron in a lot of places. Okay. Now theoretically, we don't need a tank to do this sushi stuff. But in practice, we probably do. I'm not sure. I wasn't able to get it to work the most consistently. It's a bit finicky. So this needs a filter. And then where does water come from? Actually, where does water come from? I guess we can grab more water. Does that mean we need a pump that pumps pumps and a miner that mines miners? I feel like there's a mod that does that. Not the... Because, like, we have the, well, okay, there's the everything's a fluid. That would make a pump pumps. And then there is the... Did that work? No, it didn't. Okay. I don't know why I made that an underground. And then there's the mod that makes it that, like... Ores are scrap, right? Like, if there's a mod that adds scrap mining or some form, it's effectively making miners. Okay, now we need to do logic. Okay, so let's do 5. 5's an easy number, so 85 times 5. What is that? 425. So this activates if water is less than 425. And then this... Oops, that wasn't right. Filter. So that means I have this connected wrong. There we go. Oil less than 425 times 2. I think that is correct. Now read contents. Don't include crafting. And it should be good. We need to research advanced oil for it to actually work, but I think that's set up correctly. And we will need to manually clear it once we have the thing swapped over, but I think that's good. Is it worth it? No, definitely not, but it is fun, and that's what matters. I'm actually... Hold on. I want to see what my purging logic is, because I don't remember it that well. Oh, I just realized I made tea 2 hours ago. It is not going to be good. It's been steeping for an hour and a half and it's ice cold. Whoops. It's not as bad as I thought. It's herbal tea, so it doesn't get like bitter with over steeping as much. It just gets a really strong flavor and isn't necessarily good. Wait, no, that's better. Okay, so we have the recipe, less than 1, output 1. That's all. Okay. That is very easy to do. We wanted cold over brew tea. Yeah, you're right. That is exactly what we wanted. It's not a mistake. Can you just add more water then? No. If I superheated the water, probably. I would have to microwave the water though to reheat it. That's the main thing. We won't be... We have a lot of mods. We're not gonna forget to remove the mods, don't worry. It's not a concern. But yeah, we also have rate calculator on. Which is, you know, not intended. Okay, so the way we have this set up, this is set to, I think, what defaults to off? false. Okay, so anything above 20,000. So that way we purge it. Chem plant. Plastic. Plastic. Less than 1. Output 1. I think this is right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's set up properly. We're working as intended, and then we had 4 tile gap here for some reason. And then we did this again. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then this one should be cracking. Which, is that under fluids? Wait, where's cracking? Okay, it's a lot harder to set this up whenever you have every single recipe unlocked. Heavy oil cracking. And then this one is light oil cracking. There is a way to do it where they all share one signal and it doesn't use combinators. Okay, that should be good. And now we copy this. Switch this to heavy oil. And then light oil. Perfect. Okay, we don't actually have any pumps though, so not quite perfect. Okay, let's hope this works. Microwave tea for 30 minutes. Wait, for 30 minutes? Yeah, you're right. That's enough. That's how much I need to make it work. It's just that cold that it takes that much time to heat it. Okay, let's see if this works. I think I set it up wrong. No, I didn't. It's just when you don't have an input, it just keeps going. That makes sense. There we go. Okay. So this avoids anything that fills up, which shouldn't happen that often, but it will happen at some point. So we definitely need to account for that. Let's see. We have water here, so we should be able to do acid. Okay, actually, that spot for acid makes a lot of sense. I actually quite like that. There are some parts of this base which I think are great. Most of them are not. Most of the base is rough. But some options are fun. Do I not have batteries? Yes, I do have batteries. Okay. There we go. And then iron, I don't remember exactly how we're supposed to get iron there. But, oh wait, iron is here, right? That goes there, and then I probably had an inserter doing that. That would be my guess. And then I remember we had furnaces, like so. The drill. I have I have the save, but I'm trying to see if I can remember like roughly how I set things up. And honestly, I'm not doing a terrible job of remembering. Now we need input. Okay, so that's a little bit off. But it was close. I don't think I need this many, but I can make it work. There we go. Perfect. And then we somehow need to get coal over here. So that's this ain't right. Well, it is right. It's just it's almost right. I messed up the spacing a little bit. So we'll instead do input here, then output here, and that works. That doesn't really matter where that goes. Okay, that should be functional. So that should give us all the batteries we need. Which means this is not actually how that's supposed to look. So this is supposed to have an output here, and then just regular input, like so. There we go. What the heck, Smart Belt? Why are you still broken? There we go. Okay, batteries are good. That should be getting enough. Plastics are good. Red chips are working just fine. We can switch this over to Roboforts. Actually, no, we can't. We have not done any of the blue science researches. Construction bots, speed, and we are good to go. Okay, this actually is working perfectly. So we did set that up properly, and that makes me really happy. Because I am going to be honest, I did not trust it. How many would I have done? Probably 8. Because these eventually get upgraded to yellow assemblers, and we definitely would not needed this many if they were... 8 wouldn't have been enough without yellow, but since they're supposed to be yellow, 8 should be plenty. So inputs, output, 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 input, output, output, input, output, output, input. Perfect. I do remember this pattern for doing the long inserters was really annoying in any percent as well, because that's the same pattern I used to use, and it sucks. Like, it works really well, but it was annoying to build. But there was enough time to build it, and it, like, you know, did the job. Okay, now we do a circuit filter here, which should have been buffering a lot earlier, but I kind of completely forgot because it wasn't in my original screenshot. But that's okay. Are these on the right side of the belt? Yes, they are. Okay, cool. That looks perfect. And then I believe input. This gives us pump jack automation, which we don't necessarily need, but we don't not need it either. And then for some bizarre reason, I decided to do gun turrets here as well. Oh yeah, because, no, it's not a bizarre reason. We don't need that many of them. That's why. We need 50 total, so we just automated them early. Okay, you know what? That tracks. This makes a lot more sense than it feels like it does. Although this should probably go over here, because we're supposed to be somehow doing provider chests here. Although I have the assembler, they have no inputs, so that would actually mean that means I need to do it, but it's hand fed. And then we can do, so that's just okay, so I'm not actually supposed to do them. It's reminding me, hey, you have to craft provider chests. Okay, I mean, it did the job, but I wouldn't have forgotten that, or tanks either, so I don't know why I bothered with that. Those are two very obvious things that you need all the time. Okay, power's a bit low, but that's fine. We should have electric engines now. Perfect. And then I'm going to assume this is... Oh, it's not perfectly lined up. So this goes here. Okay. And then this would be lube assembler, right? Okay, actually, no, that's good. That is working as intended. That's where it's supposed to go. That should be everything I need for those, right? Yeah. And then we have speed modules, which we can use. I don't remember what we're supposed to use them on, but something's supposed to get speed modules at some point. I think we could prod mod the blue science. That might be helpful. And then, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That seemed... I think I would have done 8. If I had 8 electric engine assemblers, I would have done 8. I would have done double that for RoboFrames. Just to have a 1-to-1 ratio. Although I do technically need more electric engines than I need RoboFrames because of rocket parts, but that happens later, so it's fine. Like, we get an upgrade later. So I think we can start with a 1-to-1 ratio. There's no real reason for me to plan rocket parts just yet. The real question is, though, do I buffer these? How do I want to do this? I think a buffer chest... I did something like this. A buffer chest that went 2 ways. And then this went here. Something like this, and then a roboport here. Then I think we can say we have robots. I don't remember the limits that I have set up. That's something that, like, I have to make a copy of my Factorio instance. So I don't fully have those numbers on me. Do I need to loop this? Not necessarily, but I'll do it anyway. It doesn't really have a downside. Okay, and I don't know if those red chips get used for anything later. Actually, I do know they get used for something later. I very much know that. Because this is a good spot to do pass provider automation. It seemed worth doing. Yeah, I'm remembering this now. I remember this weird design I did. Yep. That tracks. That looks like a design I would do. Something along those lines. Actually, no, it was even more cursed than that. It was this. Actually, no, that's not more cursed. That's actually a lot better. Okay, you know what? I like that. Okay, and then we need boilers, which can just get all of our, all of that. There you go. Boilers are automated. That should be totally fine. We need substations here, and then we need provider chests. That would go here somehow? Actually, how do I get steel to my... What the heck is that? Okay, so it looks something like this. Feeding directly into this. You know what? That's actually not... That's not as bad as it feels. That actually is pretty simple. It looks a lot more complicated when I look at the chest. Okay, these are fully automated. Awesome. And then these are bot assemblers. So this one would be regular bots. This one would be logic bots when we get those researched, which are here, which we only really use for filling the silo. But that's not, you know, that's done a lot, especially in this on novice. Okay, I think everything looks good. Everything seems to be running as fast as it should be. I don't think anything isn't running. We might be a little bit battery limited for some reason. Which makes me think they're supposed to have modules, but... Is that bots? Is that the bot split? I think that's the bot split, right? So an hour 45 to bots with no practice. And not trying to go fast. Yeah, we'll be fine. That shouldn't be too bad. Okay. Considering this is the most complicated part of our base, we should be good. The rest of it just kind of goes in random spots. This is the only one that is even close to tile perfect. And even then, it's really not. It's just... I want to place it roughly over here. I think a lot of the stuff I have right now is about 4 tiles off of where it was in the design, and it worked perfectly comfortably. Wasn't any major issue fitting it. So yeah, I think we'll be okay. There's plenty of easy alignment points. These are missing pumps. We didn't finish the pumps. So that's why these are not outputting fully. I think. Huh. Okay, I've never actually built it pumps after. That felt weird. But I think it's working okay. What's the limiting factor here? This isn't voiding correctly. There we go. There we go. Now it's voiding fluids again, or it should be. Yep, it should be doing 30 a tick, it looks like. Okay, now our fluids are working properly. Awesome. And then we can just extend this for bots later. I think I wanted it to go basically onto that patch. That should be good. And then I don't actually have Roboport placements planned out. They're just kind of gonna go wherever. So hopefully they're not too terrible to place. And then there's supposed to be logic here. I don't remember exactly what it is, but there is supposed to be logic. I have not set this up yet. Okay, there we go. I think both of these are only supposed to run if frames greater than 50. No, let's do 60. So that way we can fill silos. Because I think we're shipping RoboFrames directly. I haven't fully decided, but I want to say we're fripping robot frames. And then output... Actually, it doesn't matter which one I regulate, as long as I regulate some of them. So we can do this top one. Y is greater than That's not why. That's yellow. I mean, I guess that's kind of why. I don't know, 250? And then he is greater than 500. 500 construction bots should be enough, right? Actually, we probably only need... I think we need more logic bots than we need construction bots, honestly. At least, we obviously need the construction bots earlier, but we don't need a lot of them. Once most of our base is built. But yeah, that seems reasonable. We got to bots. I am decently happy with how the old any percent build fits into this one. Like, obviously we have to have some janky things, but it's not super critical that things are placed perfectly. We have a rough order of how we want to build things. I rushed science. Well, not rushed isn't the right word, but I did not expand this nearly as much as I should have. I had like 20 drills up before I started building them all. I kind of forgot to build the entire right side of this. I got up to here and then stopped, so I was missing like 40 furnaces before I started placing the yellow and red science, or red and green science. So I had to handcraft a lot for like 10-20 minutes because of that. But you know, when now that we have that out of the way, everything should be fine. I don't know why I bothered with that, but that's it for me today. I just wanted a little bit of practice to bots because I wanted to confirm that this starter patch is in fact as flexible as I meant it to be. And considering how I very carelessly placed stuff in space stuff, it is very much flexible enough. And then in terms of like having to switch to a different save to check out logic, I will have a separate instance of Factorio open, so I won't have to do that. So that way I can literally just click on a machine and everything should be fine, because I'll be able to see the logic there directly. I just need to make sure I silence that so we don't have two Factorio soundtracks playing the entire time. But yeah, we'll have a backup thing that we can use as a reference point. Although a surprising amount of this, I did kind of remember. Like, I kind of just knew how much of a lot of things I built based on, like, where things are lined up, which is kind of cool. I guess that's what happens when you build something. You tend to learn it a little bit. But, obviously, we're not going to memorize this one unless we do any percent again. There's no point in wasting time explicitly remembering a build and crafting queue. Especially when the build is a very rough one. But I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.